Mortal Kombat 1 has come a long way since its launch in September of 2023. But if this is going to be the Mortal Kombat that we play for the next couple years, I feel like there's still a few things that need to be added to help make the game feel complete.
Outstanding.
We're finally at a place where the game is really in a good spot. Apparently, the number of people playing the game has finally stabilized, and we're not losing as many players as we used to. The characters have been tweaked and retweaked and retweaked again, and the characters feel good now. I was watching a video from MK Tom Brady a while back, and he said that Sub-Zero underwent something like 11 different buffs. From the cooldown of his ice clone to how far the ice clone can freeze you to the ice clone EX properties, whether it's the 3 clones or just EX1 clone, or allowing you to be frozen twice so you can freeze them once with an ice clone and then knock them into another ice clone, and then instead of them just getting hit, they now get frozen. With all of these things, Sub-Zero has actually underwent something like 11 different buffs. And after all those tweaks, almost nobody would put Sub-Zero in the top 3 or even the top 5 best characters in the game. That by no means is a bad thing. I'm not trying to say that this is a negative. I say that to say, imagine how poor the character of Sub-Zero was on release date before all of these buffs. Which is just a testament to show that they were really trying to bring the characters up to a certain standard. And I feel like they've done that. Even though when they were originally previewed, people were really upset about all the guest characters. The new guest characters in MK1, I would say, were really well received. NRS really puts a lot of care and love into making a guest character really true to the source material that they got it from. And these are no different. But not only that, I feel like they're also pretty fun to play. So, the characters have been brought up to a certain standard, like I said. And the cameos aren't just restricted to 1 or 2 cameos that you have to use to win anymore. There is more diversity there when it comes to cameos, from Serena to Striker to Farah to Janet to Sonya to Tremor. I'd say that the cameos are in a much better place when it comes to diversity than when the game was first released. NRS has even added more cool stuff to offset things like invasions, like Towers of Time and the secret fight with the pink punk himself, Floyd. Though I feel that there is still a way to go to fully polish this game to the point where it feels complete. Many people want a Kombat Pack 3, and I understand that. I'm all for Kombat Pack 3 coming out. Personally, though, I feel the first thing the game actually needs is another story expansion. A lot of people had an issue with Chaos Reigns, but I didn't personally. It wasn't the story I would write or the one that I wanted, but I felt it was fine because I was fully expecting a true ending to the story, since Chaos Reigns didn't really feel very concluding. Whether we get new characters or not, I think a proper conclusion to the game's story mode is needed. Even if it leaves us on a cliffhanger for the next game, I think we need something that tops off the story better than the abrupt ending that Chaos Reigns gave us. The second thing I think the game needs is online rooms. I've been saying this since day one, and I think it's a major reason why a lot of people still keep away from Mortal Kombat 1. Organizing sessions like King of the Hill with friends is so difficult to do because you have to manually add everyone to your friends list. Then you have to invite them all to a game one by one. And elder gods forbid if there's any network error for any of the players, because now to get that person back into the game, you have to create a brand new session and then re-invite everyone that was in the game before, and it's just a hassle. Where in previous games, one could just create a room and just tell everyone, hey, meet me in the room that I called XYZ, and then you just join and play. If someone gets booted, they have a network error, whatever the case may be, they can just search for the room again and then join without interrupting the room whatsoever. A game without online rooms is extremely disappointing, and I really hope that this is the last Mortal Kombat game released without this feature. Lastly, I feel that Mortal Kombat 1 can use another method to play the game with other people. The social aspect to any game is vital to its replayability, and while Ranked and King of the Hill are more than welcome, we should have another mode to play with other people. I'd love, personally, an online ranked mode where it's kind of like it's a team tournament. So you can have 2 to 3 players can play in a team against another team of 2 to 3 players. Whoever is designated as player A will play the opposing team's player A in a first 2-round match. Then both player B's play each other. And then if the score is tied, both player C's will play each other. And if any team does not have a third member, then whoever lost their match will play in the tiebreaker. This would result in the same amount of matches that any regular ranked match would be comprised of. So it wouldn't take any longer to do a multiplayer ranked than it would a regular one. But it would allow a mode where friends can play with one another as opposed to against one another. It also fosters an environment where players want to share tips and help each other get better at the game, since you're only as good as the weakest person on the team, seeing that if you go to a stalemate, both players who lost their matches have to play one another. So I really feel like this format would be a lot of fun. And if that's not in the future of the game because they don't have the time or they don't have the budget to do something like that, I would take something like a invasions versus mode. It's kind of already in the code of the game, so I don't feel like it'll take much coding to do, even though, take that with a grain of salt, I'm not a coder. So I don't know how long it would take to code something, but it's my imagination it wouldn't take much longer to code something like a versus mode for invasion. And what I mean by that is something that is a typical ranked or King of the Hill match, but instead of the base characters, every player would use their leveled up characters from invasions. I think this would add some replayability to the invasions mode, because players may want to go back and look for a certain rune or just to grind out a few more levels before going online to show off their combinations with their friends. Secret one-player matches are cool, don't get me wrong. I love the boss fight with Floyd. I love everything that they did with that. But I feel like another way to play with other people online is needed to help round out the game as a whole. So, in short, a concluding story mode, a online rooms function, and another multiplayer mode, whether it be online ranked, invasions versus, or something else. You know, it doesn't have to be that, but another type of multiplayer mode I feel is needed to really carry Mortal Kombat 1 into the next few years. Was there anything that you feel should be added to the game other than what I just mentioned? How much are you playing Mortal Kombat 1 right now? And let me know what you think about the multiplayer ranked mode. Personally, I think it's pretty dope, but I'm really interested to know what you think. If you made it this far in the video, you can
Acknowledge me
by hitting the like button. This is a small act for you, but this allows for videos like this to get more attention, and it is very much appreciated. You can hit confirm that into the subscribe button and join
literally millions
of ShinFit subscribers. I post regularly, and I do a lot of live streams as well as community posts, so to make sure that you catch everything as it comes out, go ahead and hit that sub button. If you're into gaming content, there's a video on screen now that I'm sure you're gonna love, but more importantly than everything else, don't get beat up out there.